The weekly breakdown.
Yay!
Not as enthusiastic.
Nah.
Number 88.
It's fucking palindrome.
Yeah, technically.
It's like 2 pairs of boobs.
Yeah. I like boobs.
Isn't the whole thing in like the calculator? Or no, that's like when you put in the numbers.
5800.
I was thinking like 8. I don't know why I thought 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 works into that, doesn't it? It's like 8, 0, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
it's 58000.
That's what I was
And
thinking
you turn it
of.
upside down, it says boobs.
That's what I was thinking of.
I'm an adult. Probably not, but
You're a kid.
I'm a
You're
kid.
a big kid.
I'm a big kid. I didn't grow up. I just got bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, and even then, that's
And hairier.
and hairier. That one's that one's definitely cool, but
Yeah. There's not too much exciting things, but we'll talk about some Rogue One, a little bit about Sony, some Pokemon. That's about it. Yeah. We'll have a video on it eventually, but No Man's Sky is finally a video game. It's a thing you
it's
can
finally a
play.
thing. It's not this thing that you just hear about
Yeah.
for what was it? 3 years almost.
2013.
2.5?
It's
2.5
been in
years?
development for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
but
December
just we've heard about it
2013.
For like 2.5. So just this game that says soon for 2.5 years, and then it finally happened.
Yeah. I remember when they were trying to get this game out in 2015. Like, they were really shooting for it.
Yeah.
And then it comes out, over halfway through 2016. It still has some problems, but...
I have a lot to say about this game in the review. This is like an exciting game to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's a lot to say about this kind of game, I think, in a review.
Yeah. I just want to play a little bit more. I've only played it for about 3 hours, so I want to see what more there is. What more can happen. Because there's been some really exciting things that's happened to me, at least. Just hopefully you can find some more moments like that. Maybe go into a black hole eventually.
Probably that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's like the only video I've seen of any of this game is IGN, and it was like, oh, you can. This is what it looks like to fly into a black hole, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and of course, my first instinct's like clickbait, and I'm like, all right,
Black holes are just like you just fly through them and then it spits you out somewhere else in the fucking universe, and you're like thousands and thousands of light years closer to the center of the universe.
What if you did that and you got shot like all the way back to the end? It's like chutes and ladders.
Did you hear about
No.
the glitches that some people have been running into?
No,
Yeah.
but
Like,
it doesn't surprise
was it like you pre-order the game?
The ship that you
Oh,
get,
yeah.
can
The
be
ship
like
you get-
stranded.
Except
Yeah.
then you can't get a hyperdrive, so it's like, and you can't get the quest to make one, so it's
Yeah.
like, oh, so you just kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty stupid.
And that's the
I
whole
wonder-
reason you got the pre-order, was so that you didn't have to do that, so then people are having to start over
I wonder-
and do the fucking quest.
Because Luke pre-ordered it, and they gave me a code for whatever he got when I picked his game up for him.
No, don't say that. Yeah, there wasn't any code.
Yeah. So maybe he'll be fucked. Let's not tell him. Let's not tell him.
Yeah.
I don't think he watches our stuff anyway, so I don't know.
So yeah, we'll be talking more
sand
about
in
that.
his ass crack.
Yep.
Apparently the PC version is completely fucked, but that's not surprising. PC Master Race. So yeah. Anyways, let's move
Were
on.
they mad about like a normal frame rate?
Yeah.
Like an adequate resolution?
It's not at 284 frames. Can't play it.
Can't play it. It's not like 8K. They somehow
Yeah.
have 8K going on their fucking computer screen. It's like,
Yeah.
there's one graphical glitch. Game's fucking stupid. I'm done.
Yeah. Let's move on to the most exciting thing of the week. We like Star Wars. We talk about Star Wars a lot. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, got its first official trailer. The thingy a while ago was a teaser. This is a full-blown fucking trailer. Yeah. What do you guys think?
I thought the trailer was cool. It was weird in the sense that I feel like you kind of found out more about what was happening in the teaser trailer than you do in this trailer. You know what I mean? I that was just kind of the feeling I got. And it looks cool because they show off all of the stuff of like the battles between the rebels and the Empire, which is what a lot of people, myself included, really wanted to see with this movie. But I'm also a little bit wary, just because I know that this could be a situation where what you see in the trailer is most of what you see of that kind of stuff, and you know what I mean. They know that's what people want, so they kind of overload the trailer with that. But then, in terms of like the grand scheme of things in the movie, it's not as much. But I thought the stuff that they showed off looked really cool. The one scene, I guess I would assume it's the Death Star, like eclipsing the sun, is really cool. Mm-hmm. And then the shot at the end of
it's Chris Christie.
of what's the main character's name? Or are they
Chris Christie? Donald Trump.
Jizz.
I'm
gonna look it up.
But
I know it.
Why am I talking about all those Republicans? I didn't know that.
Her at the end of the trailer walking with a pistol out.
Urso.
Yeah, walking with a pistol.
What's
out
her name?
Towards the
Jyn Urso.
Yeah, I knew that.
Walking out with like a blaster towards like the TIE fighter was a cool shot. And there's just a lot of cool stuff like that. Like I said, there's all the battle stuff looked really cool, but I mean, I've been burned by cool trailers before, so even though I'm excited for this movie, because, again, this is the first non-main series Star Wars movie that's come out, but I'm not going to hop on that hype train just yet. I'm going to wait a little bit.
No, I have an interesting... Well... Now I'll wait until we're done talking about the trailer or whatever, but I have an interesting question. Don't let me forget.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you what it is. Just don't let me forget about it. Is that everything? Or
that's all.
Sorry.
So like.
Is that everything? It was the hand gesture.
Are you done? Are you done now?
Are you
Can I fucking
finished?
talk? Can I talk? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Force Awakens trailers were pretty cool. They didn't really show off like a lot of what's going on in the movie, so I don't really know if these trailers are going to be like, it's how it factors into the movie. Like, it's going to make sense in hindsight, but the trailers look action-packed and stuff. I definitely feel like this is definitely a different style of movie than like Star Wars main series. I'm gonna go see it. It didn't really affect how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Because I kind of just want to distance. I kind of want to distance myself from this movie as much as I can, just to like not Suicide Squad. I don't want that to happen. So I just want to be like, yeah, okay, I see the trailer. I just watched it.
Cool. Now I'm done. Not gonna watch the trailer again. Just gonna not look at like IGN and be fine.
No, I can't not look at IGN. How else am I gonna find out about 7 things about Wario's asshole that you never would have guessed before?
How else are you going
seven things that Wario can fit in his asshole?
How else are you going to see 88 photos from the new Rogue One trailer that you just fucking watched?
That's seriously a fucking thing.
That's what they do sometimes.
They just show here's screenshots from the fucking
31 pictures zoomed in on Chris Hemsworth dick, whatever.
Yeah.
Does he have any nudes leaked? I feel like he would be a guy that like people would go after his nudes. I'm just saying, he's like, Thor.
Who do you think got more? Him or his brother?
More what? Money?
More puss.
Oh.
We know who got more money.
Well, Liam Hemsworth did that whale movie, so that's something.
He did Independence Day.
He was in the Hunger Games.
Was it Hunger?
In every situation like this, I'm going to say the less famous relative gets more. Because the more famous guy, like Aaron Rodgers, is really cool and he has a wife and he plays football, and then his brother was on like The Bachelorette or The Bachelor or something. He's a total fuck off, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is my brother," and he's gonna try to like hook up with chicks. I'm not saying that Liam Neeson would do that. It's just like, Chris Hemsworth has a lot more to do. Like, he has 8 million Marvel movies to do, and his brother could be like, "Oh yeah, Chris Hemsworth's my brother."
If he fucks
some of
up,
that
it's worse.
That was a
If-
terrible
if-
Australian accent.
If he
but-
fucks up, it's worse for Chris Hemsworth than it is for his brother. Like, his brother's like, oh, I'm kinda, I'm pretty famous, but I'm not like, in every other movie that comes out each year famous yet.
You guys noticed a lot of movies Chris Hemsworth in that isn't Marvel flops?
Yeah.
Almost every single movie he's in flops that isn't fucking Marvel. It's kind of funny. Flopping
Something
like
else
that
I'd
big
like
dick.
to see flop.
Yeah, God damn. Trying to think.
That's kind of like you can't say that about like a small penis.
Yeah.
That it like flops.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you can say about like a big
Yeah.
penis.
If I could just have a night of just Hugh Jackman and Chris Hemsworth together, both in my butt.
That would hurt. Wouldn't you say?
Never said at the same time, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I immediately went to at the same time.
Even one at a time.
Yeah, probably.
That's still gotta hurt.
It's like a never-ending poop.
It's like,
All right. Back on. Anyways, back on track. Rogue One. I'm excited for this movie.
Oh, God.
I saw a teaser and I'm like, hey, it's cool. I saw this trailer. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. Nothing blew me away, and I'm not as excited for this movie as I was for Episode 7.
well, that's a
It's
loaded
just hard
question.
to do. But am I interested in this movie? Yeah. I think one of my favorite parts of this trailer was in the very beginning when they had this another sick Zack Snyder shot and kind of rolled the camera up and there's the fucking what are they?
Star
Star Destroyer. Yeah, up in the sky, and they're talking about the Empire. Like, I hope they dive into like this oppressive Empire and how the Empire just fucking sucks. And in the other shot of like the stormtroopers rolling down the fucking like alleyway like thing in a tank, that's the kind of shit that I think is going to be really exciting to me. Just because I think the whole concept of an empire and the rebellions and all that stuff is exciting, and I want to know more about the Empire, so I really hope they dive into that. I hope this movie gets to some really sticky situations too, with stealing the Death Star plans, which I have full confidence.
No, they're just gonna go in and take it.
Yeah,
that's it. That's the
it
end
looks,
of the movie.
it looks like they will.
All the other stuff that happens in this trailer, they're just gonna be watching on TV.
Yeah,
After they take the
I like
Star plans.
the different. The main cast seems to be way different from a Star Wars movie, and that's exciting too. Besides Vader, which he's not really one, in a way, sort of. I don't know. I hope there's not really anything about Jedis in this movie.
There's one guy in the trailer talking about the Force. I don't know if he's a full-on Jedi or whatever, but it would I kind of hope there isn't, just because that would mess with that thing of Obi-Wan and Yoda being at the point of when A New Hope starts, the last Jedi. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I just kind of hope this movie just gets away from that a little bit and just focuses on here's a fucking war movie kind of in a way, and all the stuff with like the tropical setting, like that's so different from Star Wars, and that's exciting, man. I really am interested in this movie. I think it's interesting, and everything that I've seen makes it look like they're going in the right direction, and it'll end up being a good movie. Better than Episode 7, I don't know. Who knows?
That would be kind of cool if Episode 8 would be like, or Episode 7, Episode like 7.5. Like they did like a small movie where instead of finding Luke Skywalker like on a mountain, it was like Apocalypse Now, where they like go through the woods and he's like fucking crazy, and he's like has his own band of like Jedi that people thought were like all but eliminated. Like he's just out there with his own little group of Jedi, and he's like fucking nuts. That would be cool. That would give a lot of character to Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
But not like Apocalypse Now, because then you would just have to kill him.
Yeah.
Like Rey would just walk up and like put one in the back of the head.
Maybe
That would be dark for Star Wars.
Just
the movie I'm more interested in, probably like everybody else, is Episode 8. You know, just because I want to know what happens next with, you know, Luke finally found. Spoilers.
He's at the beach.
Yeah. He's just having a good time.
he's just staring at the view. He's like Bob Ross. He's gonna paint happy trees here in a second.
Yeah, he was just rubbing one out. He had a stressful time. Everyone died. He just needed to go to the beach and rub one out.
Took him a little while. I mean, he's getting up there.
Yeah, he's at a nude beach because he's the only one there.
I hope the stuff that's coming out about this movie, like, and it's mostly probably because the connotation of doing reshoots in a movie is so negative now after Suicide Squad that people are like, they're fucking doing reshoots and stuff's happening with Rogue One. That's like, is Rogue One in trouble? You know, another fucking clickbait or, you know, title. But like, I just hope, like, you know, this movie, you know, surprises people.
Yeah, that's what I hope too. What's his name? The director, Gareth Edwards, I believe. He came out and said, like, yeah, we did reshoots to make the movie better. The movie didn't change, you know?
Yeah.
Because the rumors were they were injecting fun into it, but he's like, oh, it's still pretty much the same movie. So, that's cool. Just to iron out, like, the small details that maybe they missed, you know? That's what they were for.
To be fair, that is what they said about Suicide Squad, though.
That's
They were
true.
like, that's going to be the same movie. But one thing that I was going to ask you was kind of like a question for everyone that kind of made me think. What was the last movie trailer that you saw that you thought was, like, cool? Not just, like, mixed feelings, but you thought was cool, but then you were misled by the movie.
Oh, I was misled by the movie.
Like you said, like, you hope you, like, the trailer looks cool, and then, like, you go to the movies and it's bad. Like, when was the last time that's happened?
For me, X-Men Apocalypse. I was really digging the trailers and what I was seeing with that movie for a while. And then the movie just turned out to be just kind of...
That's a really good answer.
Mine was Godzilla.
Godzilla's
a good one. I was
yeah.
going to say The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies was a good one. Like, of a movie that... Even though, again, I that's not the worst movie ever made, in my opinion. It was like, you know, they portrayed this whole thing in which... And then you know, they're showing up all the battles, and then that ended up being the whole movie.
Yeah, it was kind of forgettable.
Yeah. I forget I forgot that I saw that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah. But both the other ones, yeah, I agree. Both of those movies are disappointing. I just think that one was even worse, because, like, even though apparently the opinion of the Hobbit trilogy was, like, mostly, a lot of people don't like them as much, I thought the first two were great. And then it was just like the last one just kind of fell off a little bit.
It should have only been 2 movies.
Yeah.
I liked the first one a lot.
Yeah.
The second one, I kind of don't remember as well, and then the third one, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. It should have just been 2 fucking movies. Like that, there's not enough material there to stretch that out to be a trilogy.
Like I know
a fucking 9-hour trilogy.
Like I know
It was the extended universe.
Yeah.
Like I know that the fucking, you know, Peter Jackson loves to do his fucking cinematic battle sequences, but it's like, you don't need a whole fucking movie based around that. You can, like, and it was also that one of the worst cliffhangers ever is the Desolation of Smile.
Yeah, no, that was bad.
That's really bad. Like, probably the worst movie cliffhanger I've seen, like, ever.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah. I agree.
Maybe not TV show. I mean, TV show, we've said this a couple times. That probably goes to The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. Games, probably Halo 2.
Halo 2's up there with that, but. Yeah.
For like good trailers, bad game.
No, it's
disappointing.
they're just like really
Cliffhangers.
bad cliffhangers.
Cliffhangers.
Like instead of you know, leaving you with wanting more, it just stops.
Yeah.
It literally just stops. It doesn't end.
Yeah.
It just the game stops.
Yeah.
Same thing with everything else we've mentioned. It just stops.
Game trailers don't excite me as much as movie trailers do, for some reason. I think it's more of just animations half the time. Kind of take you out of it a little bit. I mean, I get excited for games based off trailers, but I get more excited for games based off of gameplay.
Yeah.
And that's more just awesome because that's what games are.
Because the trailer, you can make the trailer look really fucking good. It doesn't mean like,
Because there's so many instances with games where they give you this fucking badass looking CG trailer and it's nothing like the game. But movies, when you see a movie trailer, that's the fucking movie that you're gonna see.
Like when we made that list of stuff that we just didn't like about the video game industry, that was one of the things that I could honestly put on that list. Like I could take out anything and put that on there, that video game trailers should be accurate to what the game is. Like when you get, I think maybe the biggest offender of it, and I don't play the games, but I definitely think the biggest offender of this is World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah.
The trailers are nothing like what the game is.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is just an anime. Like it's,
it's just really high octane, cool looking animation, and it's fucking World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
It's the world's generated when you log in, so it's like there's only so much you can fucking do.
Even when you go to games like Dragon Age Inquisition, like all the trailers for that were like not cutscenes, but just animation, and just some games offend by like just picking and choosing certain parts of a video game that are really condensed into like, okay, this is, and you expect more out of that, but it's like, okay, that's really all it is, and it's like just kind of an empty world. I kind of felt like after The Division that they highlighted certain things, and like Ghost Recon Wildlands is like they highlight certain things like, oh, isn't this situation really cool? Like this is high octane, and it just feels really condensed into like, this is cool, but then how many times is that going to happen throughout the game? How many times till that same extraction mission is going to happen, and like driving there, and
It's more, and also to kind of go along with it, it's more of this thing where when I look at a trailer, I expect to see the stuff that's like the middle of the pack. It's not the worst stuff of the game, but it's not the best stuff of the game. It's the middle of the pack. So then when you get into situations like that, where it's like, here, we're going to show you basically the most fun part of the whole game. It's like if Rise of Iron's trailer was just, here's a lot of stuff from the raid.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, everything else, of course everything else is going to be really inadequate compared to that. And it's like, and again, I think it was my perception, but I think it sounds like it's a lot of other people's perception, that it's like, you look at the trailer and you're like, oh, I hope it's better, and then so you naturally get your hopes up that there's more to it, and then there isn't.
Yeah.
Even in movie trailers, you know what I mean? That there's more to it, and then they fucking show off Doomsday, and that's the punchline.
Yeah.
I think getting back to kind of what we were saying about like trailers we saw for movies that we got excited for, but then the movie kind of was whatever. With games, when I watched trailers for this game, and then the game turned out to be good, not as great as I wanted to in a specific area, and that's Halo 5. Halo 5's marketing was fucked up, man.
Yep.
They fucking made that game sound so goddamn badass compared to what the campaign actually ended up being.
I mean, it's good, but it's
was
like,
fine, but it's definitely the most forgettable Halo campaign they've ever made. I'm even including Reach and ODST. And I mean, those two campaigns are great. But like Halo 5's, I remember specific moments, but overall, like as a story, it just
yeah, I remember like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, and then okay,
yeah. This is like, Master Chief's fucking everything up. We gotta kill him.
You gotta
get him.
Fight 3 wardens. You're on the fucking elite home world. Am I missing anything?
Yeah. I mean,
you drive a tank for a while.
The area that I remember the most out of Halo 5's campaign is that fucking Forerunner planet. That beautiful Forerunner planet. You end up driving a tank through there too in one mission.
I remember more of the one from
green and beautiful and waters and waterfalls. It's amazing.
I remember that one, but the one I probably remember a bit more is again Sang Helios.
Yeah, Sang Helios
is the one that I remember more so than that. Yeah. But it's like, yeah, it's like the game.
I hope, because not to get super off tangent, with 343 taking over Halo, with 4. The campaign was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And the multiplayer was fun, but definitely lacked. In 5, the multiplayer is fucking one of the best first-person shooter multiplayers ever made. And then the campaign kind of lagged. So I'm hoping with 6, they can finally put it all together.
Like, they don't have to do much to get the multiplayer right.
No,
so
they fucking got it dead on, you know? Just hopefully they can wrap up the story well with that. But anyways, that was a good discussion.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rogue One, Star Wars story, December. Should be fun. I'm excited. Go watch the trailer. Not sure how much to say about this because one, I'm sick of talking about it, but Sony is having a event in New York City September 7th, which is supposedly the place where they're finally going to reveal PlayStation Neo and what it is. So,
what if it's not anywhere close to what anybody thinks it is?
I don't know. And what's interesting with this is that apparently the final dev kits for Neo are going out around the same time, which makes me think, like, is it still coming out this year?
It's not coming out this year.
I don't know.
If that's the case, it's not coming out this year.
Like, are they going to reveal it here in September and be like, it's out October?
Like, here's what they're going to do. And it's going to suck because, at least in my opinion, more people were going to probably buy the Neo than people were to get VR. Probably naturally. I would assume. Yeah. So now they're going to try to condense those audiences by the VR is coming out this year, and then supposedly if the rumors from a couple months ago is true that VR is kind of dog shit on a regular PS4. So it's like, oh, you have to get the Neo, and so now they have all of that install base plus people who just want to get it. Mm-hmm. So it's probably like I would say like not I guess a scheme. Even though that sounds really negative, but that's what it is. Like, to get more people to buy it.
A cream scheme.
Exactly.
That's what you call it, like you rob a sperm bank.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll see on that. Don't want to talk about it too much, because I'm just sick of talking about all these consoles that aren't out yet. And that's just, start showing us.
The only one that's out is the Xbox One S.
Yeah, no.
That's it. And even then, like, nobody was really talking about that one. Everybody's talking about the other one that they
That's because the S is an improvement, but it's still the same console. It just has an Ultra HD Blu-ray player and it can do HDR if you have a 4K TV. That's about it.
Yeah.
Is it one S or ones? Because they put an S, that's ones. Yeah. It's the Xbox One and ones.
It's the Xbox S because it's ones.
That console looks beautiful though.
It does. It looks so sexy.
I'm like, yes, this is awesome.
So box.
But Microsoft did kind of shoot themselves in the foot with it. Well, yeah, they did. But
Microsoft
at the same time, they did have the best-selling console last month.
Yeah.
Maybe even this month too with it. So, like, the Xbox One S, I'm sure it's going to sell well this holiday season and all that stuff. One weird thing is that first version they put out is the 2 terabyte version, which was $400. They are not making any more 2 terabyte consoles, so it'll just be the 500 gig or the 1 terabyte. That's it. So $300 or $350 is what you will be paying for an Xbox One.
Did you hear that thing about No Man's Sky in the UK?
No.
About the sticker covering up the online play thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, it's like they put a sticker over the online play thing, and there's a big conspiracy now because 2 players, did you hear about, like, meeting up on stream?
2 players found each other.
Yeah.
They couldn't see each other.
Yeah. And they said it was because server problems.
Yeah, and then in the UK, there was, like, a sticker covering up the online play thing, where I guess it was covered, like, on the sticker it didn't say online play or whatever, so people have this theory of, like, because No Man's Sky is such a big game, the developers, like, were working, that's what was being delayed on the game, is, like, trying to work out some of the online stuff, and at the last minute they're like, fuck it, let's just get the game out, and they took that out, and they thought people wouldn't notice. There's a big conspiracy floating around about that now.
Maybe. But it's one thing about No Man's Sky, though. It is not a multiplayer game. And I feel people got caught up on that. It's not. Hopefully, eventually, though. That could be fucking sick.
It would be fun
if
it was.
But for now, it's just a single-player, survival, exploration-based game.
You might somehow, very rarely, I mean, probably the same kind of thing, you won't see the other person, but somehow maybe come across the person once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, I feel like people were like, I'm going to set up fucking colonies, man. I'm going to take over space. It's going to be sick. But you can't do that.
Like I was kind of saying last night, when I hear about the game, because hearing you play and you were talking about how weird the controls are.
Some of the controls are
I get the
weird.
feeling that they made this game sometimes, which this isn't saying anything to what people's opinion of it is, but like they made this game. It's like, yeah, you can go and you can explore and land on planets and look around, and they figured out, shit, we need more things for people to do, and then they kind of just added things on after that. So like, what you were saying, like sprints for
Right stick.
which is weird. So it's like, oh well, all right, we need to have a sprint so that, you can get around, because you're gonna have to get around quick because things are gonna kill you.
But here, well, yeah, yeah, we'll get into it. But the sprint's just fucking weird in that game because you don't really sprint that fast, and you can't sprint that long. But then your walking speed is incredibly slow. It's like,
Always use the weirdly controlled jetpack,
yeah, that's weird.
which is
I will say,
strange.
in terms of controls, and this is my biggest problem with this game, and it fucking pissed me off. I was flying to a planet, and I got jumped by fucking space pirates. And I was like, alright, time to fuck these guys up. Space combat is fucking terrible, and I advise not doing it, because the way that ship controls is fucking dog shit. I couldn't even find the guys to shoot them. I just kept turning my ship. I'm like, where the fuck are these guys? I don't even know what's happening. And then I ended up dying, and you lose everything that's on you.
you lose everything.
Everything that was in my ship was gone. All my
Wow.
currency was gone. However, the game does mark where you died, and you can go recover all your stuff. So, because I died in space, all I really needed to do was go over to that planet. I didn't have to land on it or anything. I just went over to it, and then I got my stuff, and then left. Like, I didn't get jumped again or anything. So, that was nice, but at the same time, it's... that shit's frustrating. That's why I don't play survival games. That's why I don't play roguelikes and all that stuff, because that's just me as a gamer. I can't play and get all this stuff, and then if I die, it's gone. Like, I can't do that. That just fucking kills me inside. And that's not the biggest... That's not my gripe about No Man's Sky. It's the space combat that fucking blows. Which sucks, because I want to go fucking kill shit. Get loot. Raid some ships.
I have a lot to say about that.
Yeah.
But I'm keeping it for the review. I have a lot to say about this fucking game.
Yeah. Yeah. What's that? You want to talk about Pokemon?
Oh yeah, they put out yet another Pokemon trailer where they showed off a couple more Alola forms, a couple new Pokemon that were already released in Korokoro, and then they showed off the villain team, which is Team Skull, which is a
Skull.
really embarrassing take on their vision of what people that listen to hip hop are like. It's out of date, out of touch. That's what I was looking to say. Right?
Out of touch. There you go.
It's a very out of touch. It's goofy. It's like wanting to have hardcore gangsters but still make it like G-rated. So it's interesting. They're a very interesting villain team, but in this sense they seem so goofy that they don't pose a threat whatsoever. Team Rocket, I felt like they kind of pose a threat because it's like the Mafia, right? And then Generation 2 is Team Rocket again. Generation 3 was Team Magma and Aqua. They're going to bring out ancient Pokemon out of the sea and like flood the world or make the whole thing land, and like there's going to be a drought, and that's like, oh, it's kind of cataclysmic. And then Generation 4, they kind of jumped the shark a little bit and went into space and God and everything. And they were like, we're going to distort space and time. And it's like, okay, okay, good luck with that. And then all the way up until the point where they are now, what are they gonna do? Make the world like fucking listen to Eminem or something? I don't know what their end game is gonna be, and it just seems goofy. Like there's no threat, but that's not a complaint, because that threat would be definitely wearing thin by now. So they should be looking at other ways to portray a villainous team. But this is a weird like.
Just a weird place to take.
Their characters are weird, but I just want to know what their end game is, because Pokemon definitely looks like they've been making it. Despite what people have been saying about this franchise, they have been making an effort. Like the last two sets of games that they've put out, handheld games, not Pokemon Go or anything like that, or Mystery or Super Mystery Dungeon. They've added post-game content. They've added a lot of features to the game. They've updated graphics. Tried to put in as many Pokemon as possible. Tried to make for Generation 6, like X and Y, they tried to make the game more accessible for people to play, so it's not as like time-consuming. Like they've really been making an effort over the last two sets of games with Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire and X and Y. So they are making an effort, and that intrigues me, and I like that. But I'm just curious as to what it's going to be. You know, like I don't know what the end game. Like Team Flare was like. They went kind of weird and kind of like anime with Team Flare.
Yeah.
Like they're going to bring this giant thing out of the ground and it's going to like shoot a laser beam, and it's like, oh, alright. We're going to power it with a cocoon. It's like, okay. And there's a really tall guy with a flower. It's like a giant dude with a flower Pokemon. And it's like, okay, that's interesting. I just wonder what they're going to do with hip-hop guys.
It almost seems a little out of place for the setting of this game. Because it's like,
It's
Hawaiian
Hawaii.
based and all that stuff.
Yeah, they should have put it in like Detroit.
I watched.
Pokemon fucking Crips and Pokemon Blood.
Oh god.
Oh, God.
I've seen like the trailer or whatever they put out. The only stuff I remember is like, because that I explicitly remember was like thinking, oh, that's interesting. Which is, I thought the Alola form of like Raichu looks strange.
It's kind of surfing on its tail.
Yeah.
Marowak looked pretty cool. Its bone is on fire and it's like throwing around.
Boner's on fire?
No, his bone.
Oh.
His or her bone.
And the other one was I forget what the fucking name of it was. It was like a fish Pokemon where its
Where
second
it turns
form
into like a
like
school. That was
like,
pretty cool.
I was like,
thought.
all right, yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Why is it taking you this long to have this idea?
I really like that they're doing that now with like forms and like taking like Meowth is getting another form, like taking Pokemon and experimenting with them, taking the Pokemon that people know and love, and if they just put them in this game, people are like, oh, they're just using the same. They're just using the original 150. They're just, you know what I mean? Those Pokemon are already popular. They're not being inventive at all. They're taking something that people know and love and putting a twist on it, and I think that's really fucking cool that they're doing that.
Yeah.
And it's like something familiar, but it's new. They're adding different things to the game. Like, they're really kind of switching up some things in this game. It's going to be fundamentally the same, but they're adding a lot of cool things to it. And I think it's really awesome that Pokemon's doing that. And it bothers me when people say, like, it's just I haven't played past, like, I only played the first generation.
Yeah,
but, like, Pokemon's fucking stupid anymore. It's like, they're making conscious efforts to make the games fun. And it's like, you know what I mean? Go back to, what's an asshole game? Go back to League of Legends, right?
Shots fired.
MOBA nerds.
Shots fired.
No, I mean, that's one of those games that people are like, oh, League of Legends.
Everything I've seen so far about Pokemon Sun and Moon makes me more excited. I haven't been watching any of the trailers just because I don't want to see any of it. But
Does it get
what
your
I've
asshole
heard,
salivating?
yeah, I'm like, yeah. I'm excited
Is
to
my a-hole
dive back
dripping?
into a Pokemon game. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's been
Not like a full-on mudslide, but like it's dripping back there.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
There's a leak.
Since I played a Pokemon game. I think it's probably been at least a year since I've played. Oh, I guess Omega Ruby was the last one that I played. Yeah, because I think I moved everything from my ex over there, and I think I got rid of X because I'm like, yeah.
Your ex. I didn't know you were dating anyone.
Oh,
that was that was stupid.
That was an unnecessary jibe at just nothing.
what's new?
I know.
Yeah.
But like usually you make fun of
What's
something
new?
that's tangible. That's like
It's just a joke. I got nothing anymore.
Yeah,
I don't have
nothing?
anything to live for, man. Let me have this.
wow.
Damn.
All right.
Alright.
I'm like Jared Leto over here. Look at me, I'm wearing a shirt of fucking hot sauce. Yeah, my life is
best.
great.
Sriracha's fucking awesome, dude.
Hey, who wears a shirt with hot sauce on it? Some fucking depressing shit.
Take some sriracha, make some fucking like...
Squirt
I
some
don't
in your
know.
butt.
Ooh, ow.
Why am I talking about assholes so much?
Sriracha is amazing on like Italian stuff. Just saying.
Like dicks?
Yeah. Yeah.
Italian sausage.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Italian meatballs.
There's some meatballs and sausage.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking spaghetti.
Spaghettis. Moving on to a couple musical things. Serpentine Dominion, which is Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse, the lead singer George Fisher. Adam D from Killswitch Engage, and Shannon Lucas, ex the Black Dahlia Murder, formed a band. That's a death metal band, and they put out their first song, and their album comes out October 28th. It fucking jams, man.
What's the band name? What's the band called?
Serpentine Dominion.
I'll check them out.
Yeah. So check that out. I thought it was very sexual.
I refuse.
As sexual as death metal can get. But it's interesting to
It's
see.
Adam D.
Yeah, and I mean, Corpse Grinder really isn't out of his comfort zone because he's in a death metal band all the time. But Adam D is. You know, he's in a fucking metalcore band. He's been in a metalcore band forever. Now he's fucking writing death metal. That's pretty cool. There's some really stupid drama going on between the lead singer of Deicide, Glen Benton, and Corey Taylor, Slipknot.
Oh.
So apparently the drama is
I read about that.
That, you know,
Deicide
is an old death metal band. You know, they've been around a long time. They're
hating Jesus.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all
Talking
they're fucking
shit
saying
on
about.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, look at their name.
Yeah. Like they've been around as long as like Cannibal Corpse and Suffocation. You know, they're in that group, old school death metal band, and a lot of bands, a lot of metal bands in the death metal world, and even some more other extreme bands, look up to Deicide. Just it's somewhat of an influence. I think more on their music, not really their lyrics. And apparently, Slipknot was one of those bands. And Glenn said to Corey Taylor to fucking blow me because there's all these bands that say they're influenced by Deicide, but they never take them on tour, and they always get so much bigger than Deicide. They never take them on tour, and he's frustrated about that. So he said, "Fucking blow me."
Sounds like a personal problem to me.
Yeah.
Sounds like he thinks the fucking world owes him something.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find that.
Maybe you should find Jesus.
Yeah.
That might help him.
Probably.
God damn it.
Jesus wouldn't have done that kind of shit.
I
Jesus
just
is the
wanna-
kind of homie that when you get big off him, he still support you.
Yeah.
Shout out to my main man, Jeezy.
So
GCC.
here's what Glenn actually said. He said, and I'll try to read this as best I can.
Who said this?
This is Glenn Benton
This is Glenn.
from Deicide, lead singer of Deicide.
You feel like the lead singer of like an anti-God, like fuck Jesus band would have a cooler name than Glenn. No
Yeah,
offense to
that-
anyone whose name is Glenn, but
something
like
Bavarian sounding, like I don't know,
Igor or like fucking
Ludwig or
yeah.
Yeah. He said, quote, "Not to fucking bust balls, but I'll bust balls. Slipknot. Oh, we're gonna take you guys out, man. We're gonna take you guys out, dude." Meaning take us out like on tour. Apparently they said that. Yeah, blow me. That's what I gotta say to you. Fucking blow me, Corey Taylor and all you fags, okay? Oh, we're gonna take Deicide out on tour with us and blah blah blah, blowing air up our asses. Back in the day, you know that? You never did a fucking thing for us. You introduced us at a show once. Great, thanks. How about a fucking tour? How about fucking helping us out a little bit? I mean, we've only been doing this for several years. You guys were like, dude, you were the reason we got started. Well, why don't you return a fucking favor? That's the gist of what he said.
I just want to know how many times. I'm not saying anything. I just want to know how many times Deicide has brought Slipknot along on tour. That's the one thing I'm just curious about.
Or not.
Yeah, then he can fuck off.
it's. I don't know how to feel about that. Oh, I mean, it's like with that, it's you should be thankful a little bit that people like your music enough to be influenced by it, and it's like, especially when you look at it, Slipknot's not a great example of that because Slipknot's pretty fucking big, and it's kind of like,
and they're pretty original too.
Yeah,
they're pretty fucking original.
And it gets to the thing of it's
maybe
like,
not anymore, but they were.
Yeah.
Well, they're kind of like influenced from their older stuff.
I just could never ever see Slipknot opening up for Deicide. Even with Slipknot's first album, they became pretty popular. Deicide was never has been, never will be that popular.
And that's what I'm saying. It's kind of that issue, and it's also like, I mean, because even though I personally don't look at that kind of stuff, probably like the people who like help pick like, oh, who are we gonna put on tour, but with Slipknot, I mean, probably don't want Deicide on there. You know what I mean? Just because that in the sense of hitting big, because I mean Slipknot plays fucking arenas, and then also it's.
And that's still to say that Slipknot has anything to do with that anymore.
No,
being signed to a huge label, making the money that they do, that they have anything to do with
just
that.
Because you're influenced by a band doesn't mean if you get more popular than that band, you owe them a favor. That's just how I think about it. Like, I don't know. It's just dumb.
And then you get to a stupid part where you get down a rabbit hole, and it's basically you're influenced by every musical act ever. Do you have to go on tour with everybody ever? Like, is that all of a sudden you have to start inviting Black Sabbath to go on tour? Be like, oh,
hey, you guys want to open for us?
Like, exactly. It's like in which then it gets at that point it gets stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. It's just yeah.
At some point, I'm not sure if I misheard it, but did hard-ass Glen say that Slipknot said that they were going to take Deicide out on tour?
Apparently, that's what he said. But
Well,
then Corey Taylor...
No, you can go.
Well, Corey Taylor responded then, and he said, I don't know why I'm the biggest target now. Like, maybe it's just because of my profile or whatever, but I mean, I haven't seen Glen Benton in 10 years, Like, I haven't talked to him in even longer. So I don't know why he's upset with me. I don't know why he's upset with us. We take bands out who submit for us, man, It's just that simple. I mean, out of respect to him and what Deicide has done over the years, it's like, if you talk to somebody, it wasn't me. And they sure as hell didn't talk to me because I would have tried to do something,
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, they don't deal with that kind of stuff anymore.
Exactly.
That kind of clears up a little bit. Like, I was going to say, did they actually say, like, oh, we'll take you out on tour, and then they never did?
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the case, then this guy just feels, I don't know. He's some old fucking, old guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Probably
at some point, you just have to start, like, saying,
probably
shit just didn't work out, gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
Probably looking just,
Like, you don't go to work every day being like, fuck, man, why don't I own this place? Like, you're like, okay, well, I'm going to have to work here for years and years and years and, put in the work and everything and have this, earn things based on my own merit. And not say, like, oh, maybe we kind of influence someone so they fucking owe us. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
Get in contact with them or something, like, get in formal contact with them. Be like, yo, what the fuck's up? Instead of being a dumb fuck. And, like, I'm like, seriously coming out and, like, I joke about a lot of things, but, like, seriously to be a dumb motherfucker and go on, like, social media and complain about it. It's like, what's social media, right?
No, it was an interview.
Ah, well.
But
even then, it's like...
it doesn't matter. Yeah.
It's like...
I see what you're saying.
Maybe if like, if for whatever reason we didn't have that context of Corey Taylor's, him responding, and it's like, oh, we've tried a bunch of times, and it's just not fucking happening. So it's like, well, something, you know what I mean? Which even then, I don't think this is the situation to call for something like that. But that's when you go out and it's like, hey, I'm not getting a response, so all right, I'm gonna make a big fucking deal about this. But it's like, it's like, oh, we tried once, and we got promised once. We
talked about it like
tour.
10 years ago.
And it's
something.
like, oh,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, fucking, I don't want to be one of those people that just complains about, like, oh man, people this day and age. It's like, fucking hell, dude.
Plus, Slipknot plays arenas. They probably want their management that books these tours probably want bands that, are good arena
gonna draw
that. It just more good arena like opening bands and stuff. And Deicide's just not that.
And they're not going to open for who Slipknot is right now. Like that's not going to work.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing.
Like you want bands that either are at that point of being able to sell that, or look like they are going to eventually be at that point.
Yeah, another weird thing is that as long as I've known about Deicide for a number of years now, it's just kind of somewhat followed them. I'm not hugely into them, but I have never, ever once seen them announce a tour where they're opening for someone. They're always constantly doing headlining tours, so it's like, well, like you come across to me as a band that doesn't like to open for anybody. You're always playing your own headlining sets and organizing your own tours, and you bring bands on tour and stuff, and that's cool. But you seem to just want to organize your own stuff. Maybe on the flip side, though, there's not tours that they are offered that they want to take or anything, or that they could even get on. Who knows?
It's almost like they think in their own minds, like, dude, Slipknot, Deicide, co-headline, like they think they're at that level. Like, come on, dude, what the fuck? It's like it's like before that they're like, dude, come on, Paul McCartney, you get together with Ringo, come on, the both of us co-headline. It's like maybe in like the death metal world, you're something, but it's like
outside of that,
that's just the way it is. Like, I'm not saying it's a good thing. I would honestly love to go see a tour that like has some of my favorite artists that aren't all the same genre, that aren't alike, to see a variety of music and be like, oh, that's cool, and I like that, and not just to have my asshole stuffed with like hardcore the entire night, but like to see a variety of stuff would be cool. So it's like, that idea is cool. It's just you kind of just close the door on yourself by being a prick about it. Like, and if you were at the end of your rope, like, oh, we tried contacting them, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? That's just not going to happen. Just move on with your life, be a professional, and you know what I mean? Just hit the punching bag or something. I don't know what to fucking tell you. It just doesn't look good for you. You played yourself. Played yourself.
I mean, this also could just be like a frustration thing. Like, it might not be like, against Slipknot. It's just like, probably heard something about Slipknot saying, oh yeah, DSI was a big influence on us, and then he's just like, almost like frustrated with the fact that, again, maybe that with that whole thing, if he's been doing, they've been doing this for so many years, and now you haven't been doing it for nearly as long, and look at you, you're doing so much more. It's like a frustration thing, you know what I mean?
However, I do want to put an asterisk next to whatever I just said, because I don't know how many times articles take things out of context. So I don't really know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I put an asterisk next to everything I just said as it's shown to me. The guy's an asshole. But if you somehow read into it and there was like, you know what I mean,
a follow-up question,
and there was like, maybe he was I don't know if he's joking, but you know what I mean? Like, go back to the Linkin Park thing, where like, oh yeah, a lot of bands come up to us and say, hey, you were one of the first bands that I listened to. You really influenced us. And then the article name is like Linkin Park says they kept metal alive or whatever. That's not really true to the article of what the guy's saying. What Chester, I'm sure he was just like, it feels like we kept metal alive or something, because arguably they did. Like the biggest metal bands, the biggest modern metal bands in the world, like modern, Bring Me the Horizon, not according to Luke, but Bring Me the Horizon, Of Mice and Men, The Devil Wears Prada, all bands that were like, and countless like Warped Tour bands that are like some of the biggest modern metal bands in the world, regardless of like opinion on their music, but in popularity, that's where metal kind of is now. You know what I mean? As compared to a genre like deathcore that's like stale as fuck, that probably wouldn't be influenced by Linkin Park. You know what I mean? I don't think it was like him just jerking himself off. but it's sometimes things are reported like that. It's all about like the headline, what brings
it was
people
definitely
in.
a headline.
Yeah,
because I read that and I was picking up what he was putting down. I am not denying their influence on music has been fucking insane. You know, there's so many bands out there that just tried to sound like Linkin Park sounded back in the early 2000s. But that headline I read, I'm like,
oh yeah, the headline. I was like, nah.
I was like, you're talking. So you're saying that metal was like on its fucking deathbed, and you saved it. Yeah, that's where I was coming from.
Yeah, that's like,
and that's fucking bullshit. But then I read it, I'm like, well, that's just a fucking clickbait fucking title, man.
Yeah.
You know,
same thing a while ago. It was probably like a year ago. I remember there was some article that we were talking about and breakdown that was totally taken out of context, and we read more into it like in real time. And I was like, oh yeah, it turns out whoever, like, you know, they're not completely full of shit. It was something that Kiss guy, Gene Simmons.
About
something
Robin
about
Williams.
kill yourself or something.
So you talk about people who are depressed and how it's like dumb.
Oh yeah,
about you know,
Prince.
I think he came up again with Prince and things like that. But it was like,
I just remember, I think it was from Robin Williams that he was talking about it or something.
About him too.
It was like you read more into it, you can sort of see where he's coming from, and that he's sort of opening a discussion and not just saying fuck you or whatever as people would report it. So I'll always just put like an asterisk next to whatever I think, because I don't know.
But the headline frames him that he's an asshole.
I mean he is.
Exactly.
You know.
He actually, I did not know this. I was on a fucking, what was it, TeamRock.com. Sometimes they post some interesting things.
comes for a full
and it was the 20 worst rock/metal albums ever made. And I didn't know Gene Simmons wrote a solo album called Asshole. Came out in 2004. That was on the list. Apparently it's off. And of course, the number one album was Saint Anger.
Nah, man.
Not surprising.
There wasn't like a ton of, like, in hindsight, there was some good stuff back then, like, in the background, but like a lot of popular things, the music was kind of bad back in 2004. Like, Nickelback was up there. Not to, like, just pile on them, but, like, I don't think they're the greatest band in the world. Like, I'm not just going to give them shit like everyone else, Nickelback, but they were up there. I think, like, Creed was still kind of on their last legs, right?
Yep.
And all that kind of, like...
They put out their last album. Well, their second last.
And then, like, a lot of pop stuff was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But...
Linkin Park at the time was still more of a... hard rock band, you could say.
And then you were in that,
they
like...
went in a weird direction. Disturbed got real popular.
How do I want to say this? You were in that, like, post 9/11 couple of years where country music really started to be patriotic and just fucking, like, obnoxious about it. Like, who was that one guy?
Toby Keith.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that. I know there's one guy that wrote, like, a song about kicking someone's ass or whatever.
I got it right. I knew what you were talking about immediately.
Some fuck off.
Is he still
around?
around?
Toby Keith. What?
Is he still around?
Yeah. I don't think he's not nearly as popular, I don't think.
Yeah.
Because there's no, like... Maybe there needs to be another big terrorist attack or something. So he can be super patriotic about it, because that's the kind of fucking person he is that needs to, like...
Yeah.
You know?
No, all the patriotism...
See, if there was an article written on that, it would be like, Sam says there needs to be another terrorist attack or something.
Yeah.
So you can cash in on
all
that.
the nationalism that would come from that is going to be from Deicide. Everyone's going to listen to Deicide. Then they're going to be headlined in arenas.
Oh, God.
Playing... Yeah, maybe they should start writing country music.
Yeah, maybe.
And then I could tour with Kid Rock.
Deicide...
Kid Rock was he still, like, Kid Rock? I know it was, like, late 90s.
He was on the way out at that point. Because in 2002, he put out, like, his last, like, arguably good album.
Arguably.
Kid Rock scale of, like, good being, like, you know, just a step above a good smelling dog shit. And, and you know, bad being, you know, death.
I specifically remember with Linkin Park, though, 2007 is when they went kind of wonky with Minutes to Midnight. That has, like, Shadow of the Day, Bleed It Out.
That was 2007.
That was 2007.
When did they put out Hybrid Theory? Was that 2000?
Hybrid Theory was 2000.
2000?
And then Meteora, 2003.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Back when they did the Transformers soundtrack. And they started to go more, like, mainstream with their sound.
Stain was in their heyday.
Oh yeah.
2004.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'm off by a couple years. I was thinking like Britney Spears was still a thing. Honestly,
she was on the way out of that.
Yeah, I don't want to just needlessly give someone shit, but like personally, she's putting out a new album now. I've never like understood her singing style. Like a lot of pop artists, like Katy Perry, say whatever you want. She can project and she has like a big voice and everything. Adele can sing. Rihanna can sing. A lot of big pop stars really can sing. Like even Biebs kind of learned how to sing, sort of. Sort of.
Like how you could keep
but
straight
it's
face.
like, who am I talking about now?
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears. It's very like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like her music didn't age well, I want to say, because I went back and I listened to like "Hit Me One More Time," and I'm like, that was very much in that era of like NSYNC and stuff that like some of that stuff kind of doesn't really age well.
No, especially when you get it in the Fun Times loot box.
It's especially weird when you go from Seether to Britney Spears to August Burns Red covering Miley Cyrus.
Do you remember when she was like, she just got big and she was like 17 and like Grown Men wanted to pound her?
Yeah.
Or like 16, 17 and stuff, and that was like the big thing. Like,
Remember,
yeah, she kind of showed some leg. Oh.
Remember her dad, Keith Urban?
That's her dad?
Isn't it? Could have sworn
Keith
it
Urban
is.
is her dad?
What?
He's related
Keith,
to
you're her
somebody.
dad? You're
I'm
an
gonna-
Urban
I'm
guy.
gonna
You're
correct-
double checking.
I'm
I'm not
gonna
sure
correct
about that.
myself.
I'm not sure about that.
But then like
He's
nowadays,
related to somebody that I
know-
thought was on Disney.
What?
No, you got it backwards. That's Billy Ray.
Yeah,
and
Billy
Miley
Ray.
Cyrus.
Yeah,
That's
that's
Billy,
it.
not Keith Urban. That's just a funny connection to draw.
Isn't Keith Urban Australian?
I don't fucking
I
know.
want to say he's Australian because he's on the Australia's The Voice. I want to say that's him.
Keith Urban
Some hick.
is in Hershey.
Oh!
November 17th.
Where is he from?
New Zealand.
Yep, Australia.
Yes,
basically.
no.
I was wrong on that one.
Basically.
They look
They're their own
fucking
country,
same.
but basically.
Yeah.
Billy Ray Cyrus. Oh yeah.
Keith Urban actually is putting out a new album. Or putting a new album out this year called Ripcord.
That would be your name if you were like a rapper,
Keith
like Keith
Urban.
Urban.
Also, he's going to be in Philly August 26th.
Oh
Get your
boy.
tickets coming up.
You know, because the only thing is like I used to listen to that kind of stuff a long time ago, and then it hit me. You go to country when you can't make it as a rock star, and you look at like half the people that are out, and then you look at it with that lens. Like just picture that rock. Like picture what's that one band that got really popular?
I'm trying to think of country singers.
Rascal Flatts. You know their song from? Think of them.
They have that song from Cars.
Yeah.
Oh God, I want to kill myself.
I can't stand it.
But
Life is a highway,
But just,
man.
but just think of that and just think rock, and it's like it might as well be, and it's like
Kid Rock.
yeah,
The prime example of someone that really couldn't like.
make it as a rock artist. So boom, you go. And then
Kenny Chesney.
again, not really country, but it's like I listen to Johnny Cash, and Johnny Cash is the shit. You know what I mean? Like
Garth Brooks. Was he in that era of like was still like country?
It was still a little bit. Like I'd say probably up until it's weird because he's probably one of the again because I still listen to a little bit of country. I don't listen like to the new stuff. Like I don't know any of their fucking names, but like probably the person up until Hank Jr. Because then he started making it rock, and then it's weird. We'd never get into
Good old
conversations
Hank
like this,
Jr.
but then everybody else started mimicking him, and probably that's kind of when it started to go bad.
Randy Travis. He was on an episode of King of the Hill. That's how I know him. He's a country singer.
Travis Tritt.
Who's that? He had that song with a guy from Soundgarden.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Chris Cornell and Zach Brown. Zach Brown.
Yeah.
Zach Brown.
He kind of went rock a little bit.
Yeah, like it's
Zach Brown's interesting.
a weird thing. Or is that fucking one thing? Was it Nelly and Tim McGraw did a song together, and it's really fucking weird. All right.
They should fucking get
Tim McGraw. Oh,
yeah.
He was in that movie The Blind Side.
Yeah.
That was like an insult to like movies, honestly. Like that was like such a feel good.
Just
like I don't want to be. I thought this is no. Never mind. This is not something I want to get into on this show. But if it were ever a kind of thing that we would get into on this show, I have nothing but trash to say about that movie. Like if this show ever went like, hey, let's have an episode where we talk about like politics or something that like controversial things. I could say a lot of things about certain stuff about that movie that I just did not fucking like. But I don't know shit, so whatever.
They should get like a...
Just do a sequel. He loses his home again, and they bring him back, and it becomes good football. God damn it.
Yeah.
They should get like Brad Train and Attila to do a song.
Who the fuck is Brad Train?
Some country guy, I don't know.
Brad
Probably.
Train. And Attila.
Okay, let's put a bow on this shit. All this new fucking metal rock music
bird
you
on
can
it.
listen to right now. The Amity Affliction. This could be heartbreak.
Is this all the albums that are coming out?
Yeah.
Or it just came out?
Yeah.
What are they, like metalcore?
The Amity Affliction.
Yeah, aren't they?
Yeah. They are like they're like Warped Tour stuff. From
Actually, I'm pretty sure I've heard of
Australia.
Australia.
Equilibrium with Armageddon.
What Equilibrium?
Yeah.
Why am I thinking death metal? Like melodic death metal, but I know that's not right.
I didn't even say a word there. Goose metal. Goose pecking your
Folk
ass.
metal.
Like a goose pecking your balls from the back. Like he's pecking up through your like hitting the back of your balls metal.
Wow.
I don't know why I was thinking death metal.
Oh, could you
I don't want to think about that. I'm actively trying not to.
would you rather have like a huge bookcase like
Oh,
fall on your feet and like crush your feet, or have a goose peck your balls?
Do you want to have awful pain regardless?
Like
but do you want to fucking not be able to walk?
Or not be able to walk because you get hit in the nuts.
Or not be able to like nut.
Oh god.
I mean, if there's no permanent damage, I guess I could take the goose.
Anyways, Metal Allegiance with Fallen Heroes.
Rock.
Heavy metal.
Yeah. This is like a collaboration.
I was gonna say that sounds like a
basically.
super group.
The Pineapple Thief with Your Wilderness.
Stoner.
SpongeBob metal.
Stoner.
Progressive.
Stoner. It's Stoner.
I feel like we've talked about this guy before. Omar Rodriguez Lopez.
Yeah.
With
Salsa
Blind
metal.
Worms, Pious Swine.
Mariachi metal.
Salsa metal.
Yeah. Experimental. Spirit Adrift with Chained to Oblivion.
Spirit.
Elder Scrolls metal.
Black metal.
Doom. Vader with Iron Times.
That's thrash.
Hardcore.
Death metal.
Fuck.
Heartaches with Savart.
What it? What it? What's the
What
name of the album? What it is?
Fart? I don't know.
Fart?
SVART.
Flatulence metal.
Yeah. Hardcore.
Yeah. Helion Prime with their self-titled
Progressive.
Space.
power metal. Horseback with Dead Ringers.
It's not folk. That's gotta be folk or power metal. That's gotta be folk or power metal.
Heavy metal.
Fuck. I always forget that straight up heavy metal's a thing.
Yeah. Howling Giant with Black Hole Space Wizard Part 1.
Is that power metal? Please be power
Stoner?
metal.
Stoner.
Fuck.
9 Shrines with Misery.
9 Shrines.
Black metal. I'm gonna keep guessing black metal until I get it right.
White metal.
It's racist.
Post-hardcore. The next one is a split between Thy Art is Murder, the Casey Strain, and Fit for an Autopsy called the Depression Sessions.
Is that officially out now?
Yeah.
I thought that.
The Casey Strain covered Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden.
I wanted to listen to that.
Oh, it was alright. I'll put it on after this. Rams, or fucking... Thy Art is Murder covered Du Hast which to me I thought it was very unrecognizable, but I mean that's whatever. And then Fit for an Autopsy covered The Perfect Drug by 9 Inch Nails, I think, and then they all had an original song that they all wrote, like a brand new song. It's interesting. Last one, X Method with Sex, Alcohol, and Rebel Music.
Rebel music, Southern metal.
That's good.
Like
good
a
answer.
Attila?
Southern rock.
Something like Attila?
Hardcore / thrash. I don't know.
The whole thing was the whole Rebel thing caught me. It's like that's
Yeah, it's pretty weak. Haha. Yeah. Next week though will be exciting. Skeleton Witch and Sabaton.
Forgot about that. All right, I'll have to make sure I'm on.
Both of them come out.
Is that a
the
show
day-
you're going to?
No, it's just new stuff coming out. Both of them are out the day that we go see Sabbath.
For the last time ever.
That's it.
Yeah, that's a conversation for after the video. But yeah, it's not really important.
Thanks for watching. See you around.